so cruel, not being such a fool. Whatever was done is done. I just can't recall. It doesn't matter at all. But there it is. There it is. You see it so clear. You were meant to be here. From the beginning, yeah.
From the beginning,
Liner was going down. There could be little doubt of that now. Two of the four engines had coughed and died just as the plane cleared Mont Blanc. A third engine was on fire. The craft was rapidly losing altitude, and treacherous Swiss alpine peaks lay ahead. So the airliner was going to crash, and soon. And as quickly as the passengers became aware of the inevitability, there was much passenger panic. In a window seat, on the probably doomed aircraft, sitting quietly, although no less anxious than his fellow passengers, was Father Edward Carney, a Jesuit priest from Massachusetts. Father Carney turned to Richard, his traveling companion, a friend of many years. "It doesn't look like we're going to make it to London," he half-whispered, his voice breaking. Richard, ashen-faced, staring straight ahead into the nothingness, did not answer. "Well," Father Carney resumed, "I suppose I have a job to do." And as the airliner continued to pitch and toss in its descent, he unbuckled his seat belt and rose to offer last rites to any requesting them. But this is the rest of the story. Richard, in those moments during which Father Carney fumbled for his seat belt, somehow came to his senses and assessed the situation. He knew the plane was headed for oblivion. He knew what the priest friend was preparing to do. But then, glancing about him at the anguished faces of the other passengers, he saw a number of children. Perhaps none of them understood English, Richard concluded, at least not enough to take comfort in the words of an American priest. What those children needed most, he said to himself, was to be distracted from the impending crash. Richard jerked his seat buckle open and stood in the aisle, facing the near-frantic travelers. "Words won't help," the little voice inside him kept insisting. So Richard did not speak, not a word. Instead, he made faces. And to his surprise and delight, one of the children who saw him suddenly laughed. And meanwhile, in the cockpit, the sweat-drenched pilot strained to see over what appeared to be the last ominous crag in front of him. Now, life or death depended on what lay beyond. What did was a green valley and a cow pasture, and it was there that the all-but powerless airliner, barely missing that last snow-crested mountain top, it was there that the airliner glided to a jolting stop. And more remarkable still, among passengers and crew, none of whom had expected to survive, not one injury. And the children aboard, who surely otherwise would have spent long minutes in terror, instead laughed and pointed and laughed again at the funny stranger who made the funny faces during an impromptu pantomime he believed stretched from here to eternity. After safely arriving in London, Father Carney's friend Richard, who'd accompanied him to see the Pope, Richard, whose desperate but convincing clowning had calmed the children on that almost doomed flight, he, Richard, opened on July 2 and performed for enthusiastic audiences at the prestigious Palladium. But you were present front row and center for the performance that really counted. The most wonderfully satisfying performance, he said, he ever gave, when the stage was the narrow aisle of an airplane about to crash in the Alps. And the headliner was a gifted comedian you know as Richard Skelton. Red Skelton, only now you know the rest of the
Hey guys, I'm sorry I was muted. Good morning. How y'all doing today? Is everybody doing good? Oh, that's my impersonation of Candace. I don't have that on my thing. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Cynthia? Sarah gave me a 1. Real Gypsy gave me a 1. No, Real Gypsy gave me a 2. Turn your volume up, honey. Okay. Well, I got 10 people in here, and 2 people can hear me. So 8 of you is not going to have a very good time on the field trip if you can't hear. Come on, don't be shy. Put a 1 in the chat. You can do it. I can't start the bus until I get at least 5 1s. Doing great as Candace. Doc gave me a 1. All right, that's 3. Come on, I need 2 more 1s. 4, 5. Okay. I can crank the bus. It took me a minute to get here anyway. All right, guys, hang on. Let me change over. Coffee. Coffee's awesome, especially when it's rainy and cool and you're on an adventure. Can y'all see where I am? Any idea where I am? If you got any clue where I am, type it into the chat. Out of a 572-year-old tree. Yeah, straight up, seriously. Check this out. Can you see back in there? Pretty fucking cool, huh? Looking straight up. This tree was sprouted the year before Columbus set sail to discover the New World. It's seen wars, peace, natural disasters, lightning strikes, a couple of them, but still it grows. Completely hollow. But still it grows. Okay, now the history of this tree is that during the American Civil War, both sides, North and South, if they came through your area and you had livestock, chickens, cows, things like that, pigs, that the Army would confiscate them and give you a script as an IOU for when the war was over. They were not worth it, the paper they were written on, but they'd give you the script for your livestock and they would take it to feed the troops. Well, during the Civil War, there was 2 advancing armies heading this way. And the gentleman who owned this property only had 1 cow and 3 chickens. So this tree had been struck by lightning years and years and years and years earlier, probably 100 years earlier or more, and formed this cavity. And he brought his cow and his 3 chickens and his 2 daughters, and they hung out in this cave of a tree until the army had passed by. And they didn't get his livestock. That's a true story. It's the legend of this park. I'm going to have another sip of coffee and then I'm going to stand up. I'll show you something. This tree is known by many different names here. Some people call it the lover's tree. I'm going to try to put it on here. You can see people have graffitied the walls for over 100 years. There's someone who wrote about Southern Girl. This place is absolutely awesome. It's a darn tree. We're standing inside a darn tree. Not only that, but it's 5,000 years old. Over 5,000. I'm 6'1" and I'm standing up straight. I can hold my arms out at my side in both directions inside here and still have my fingertips to touch the edge. It's pretty cool. We got a lot of cool things like this where we live. And I'm going to take you to a bunch of them. But this one really is cool. Solid. It's not rotten. We'll get the little camera on it. It's a piece of wood. Solid. Sit back down. Talk to you guys for a minute. We'll prop this up right there. I'm 62. I've seen a lot of cool things in this part of the country. But I didn't find this place until probably about 10 years ago. I was in my 50s. And I found it by accident. But it turns out to be peaceful and quiet and protected from the wind and the rain. It's awesome, man. I could live in here. Gypsy gets mad at me, put me on the couch. I'll just come to the tree. This is the ultimate tree house right here, yeah. Has anybody ever been inside of a tree like this before? Put a 1 in the chat if you have. And then hear this tree. And there sits the tree. Pretty cool. This is the little bottoms. There's a creek over there, small stream. They built this really nice deck just a couple years ago. That's where we were. We were in there. Good hiding place. Y'all need to hide out sometime. Give me a shout. I'll give you the address so you can come here. All right, guys. We're walking back towards the car now, but I'm going to upper loop around the pond, drinking some coffee. Man, I love coffee. Doesn't look like they're catching anything, but they're all smiling and having a good time. When I was little, we lived on the very edge of town, and there was a huge wooded area, probably 100 acres or more, just a couple thousand yards down from the house. And I was in the woods every day. I wasn't in school, even in the snow, walking and learning about nature, appreciating the world that God gave us. Except for that, water fountain, in my opinion, is ugly, doesn't fit, and it's loud, artificial. Wow, he threw that hook way across, almost all the way across the pond just now. The guy in the red shirt. I ain't never fished here, but they say there is fish here. The county stocks it every spring. See the knot on that tree? It's called a burl. See if I can get a good view of it without climbing into the woods right now. I have my sandals on. No, it's not going to show. Come on, guys, let's go up here in the woods. Smoke too much. Okay. That knot on the tree. It's called a burl. And if you cut it and just take that section of the knot and square it off, a lot of people who have lathes turn wooden bowls and things out of it because it's so pretty and it's figured the way it's solid. It's not hollow. It's just twisted toward the grain. It makes really pretty pictures. That's a large one too. It's set my coffee down. It's pretty big. Make a big fruit bowl or something for somebody wanting to turn it. Hey. The gazebo over there looks really nice from here. Ooh, about to drop my coffee. Let's see. This is shaky, isn't it? Zooming in that far. It's very picturesque though. Get closer to it, let you see it. There's a squirrel. Hey, squirrel. I should have brought some peanuts or something for him. I didn't really know I was going to come here till I got here. They really went out to fix this place up and make it into a park, didn't they? You can tell it's on the side of town where the better half lives. Maybe we'll come for a picnic here this spring. I started doing this video while Gypsy was live, and I just got a message. I missed a call from her. So I'm going to stop for a minute. So what y'all think? Was that cool or what? Yes, Robin, it would be an awesome place to have a wedding at. We're really blessed here. I mean, Forsyth County alone has like 300 parks. They're all different shapes and sizes. Some of them are just little playgrounds, and some of them are huge complexes that charge admission. But we're loaded with places like that here. But has anybody ever been inside of a hollow tree before? I thought it was awesome and wanted to show you guys. Yesterday, when my wife went live, she told me to go do the laundry. So on my way to the laundromat, I stopped there and recorded that, put it together last night. The exact age of that tree, by the way, is 530 years old. I looked it up. It was not 572. I miscalculated. But it's pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, Gypsy just reminded me. The next trip that we're going to take you guys on is to Andy Griffith area. And the Andy Griffith Show, I know y'all have seen that before. That's based on a town that is like 20 minutes from here. And that was the town that Andy Griffith was born and raised in. It's called Mount Airy. And there's a park called Pilot Mountain State Park, which is a huge mountain. It's halfway between here and Mount Airy. And in the Andy Griffith Show, they refer to that as Mount Pilot, but it's really Pilot Mountain. And Andy Griffith's birth home and the house he was raised in is in Mount Airy. They also have a reconstructed Mayberry section in Mount Airy. And they have the jail, the courthouse, the Darlings Steel area. They have Goober's gas station. The what? What brick? Oh, Ernest T. Bass's brick. Yeah, if y'all know who Andy Griffith's Show is, then you know who Ernest T. Bass was. He was only in like 3 episodes, but he's really well known for it. He would throw bricks at people and things. They have his brick there in the jailhouse. And it's all, the only thing that costs at this place is if you want to tour the area in the Andy Griffith squad car, police car, you can do that. It's $25 for as many people as you can cram in the car. It's really cool though. And so we're going to take you there on the next field trip. And that one will definitely be a fun experience. But so let me move this over here. Did y'all like Paul Harvey there as I opened up? I love Paul Harvey. He's a good storyteller. And that was one that I came across when I was messing around on the tube the other day. So what's new out there in YouTube land that you guys want to talk about? Any earth-shattering news that we want to let everybody know? Yeah.com. I love Paul Harvey too. I have about 30 or 40 of his clips. I'll throw some in as I go along in the future. Yes, and the rest of the story. Jamie, you doing all right out there, buddy? You still here? Are you saying, Dot, that you want to talk about that mean girl to Gypsy, or that you want to talk about that mean girl, Gypsy? Yeah, I'll talk about that mean girl, Gypsy. She fired me. She said that y'all hear her yelling at me what to do and stuff, and I would do that for her when she would, because her desk is right there, and my desk is here, and she got mad and fired me. Said, "I don't want you to speak." So that's why yesterday when she went, yeah, yesterday when she went live, she said, "Go climb a tree." So that's what I did. I went and climbed inside a tree. I love her. She's good. She's good to me. She's good for me. She is. I don't know where it is, but I do. No. I'm looking for. Hold on, guys. I'm looking for something to show you here. My computer. It's not going to work. All right. I have a photograph. Nope. It's the wrong format to put up. Anyway, I have a photograph of me inside the jail at Andy Griffith's courthouse. And of the boys riding in the squad car in Mayberry. So, Doc, which one did you want to talk about? Don't be shy. Donna, how you doing today? It's kind of weird doing this for myself and not doing it for Gypsy. Huh? Sarah, do you see that? She said, now? Yes, Sarah, now. There's something happening here in chat. What it is ain't exactly clear. Will I get struck for that? Okay, I don't care. I'm not monetized. So, I love coffee, but I've already had 2 pots this morning, so I'm drinking Mountain Dew, which is more caffeine. It's not a real smart choice. I'm reading some of the chats here. I know. I found something the other day. Where is it? there's some music for y'all to listen to while we're waiting on Sarah to get back and Dot. I'm due to go scorched earth on a certain mean girl and boy. She's the one who told don't know what to say about that. So is everybody ready for Christmas yet? You know, I got Gypsy a sewing machine, and she's making these little dolls with them, and she's doing really good. She was doing it also when she was making them by hand, and now she's overcoming the learning curve on the sewing machine. She's going to be spitting out a bunch of them here pretty soon, so keep your eyes open for those. So this evidently Southern girl is showing out there. Wish she would grow up. I haven't been, Cynthia. I've been working on videos. I haven't been watching it. Do you guys like to go thrift store shopping? Oh my Lord. I love the yard sale or flea market or thrift store. We went to this one the other day that has just been really, really nice to us. And we got a whole basket, a cart, like you push full of groceries, full of stuff. $8. Couldn't believe it. I got a stand-up mixer with 2 bowls, and you put the things in the bottom and turn it on because I like to cook. And good grief, I don't know what. Oh, but let me show you this. I'll be right back. Check this out. It's a big letter G. Is my screen backwards? It is. Big letter G. I'm going to fix the lights in that and make a light for our studio with it. They just had these, they had the word gout, G-O-U-T, spelled out. So I got the G and the U because the U sideways says the C. We found some cool stuff though, like this globe here. It was attached to a base, and it was a kid's toy. And I love globes because I've been all the way around the world several times. So I just took it off the thing, and it's real thick fiberglass. But right there's where we live.
North Kakalaki. Pepsi. Gypsy told me when I first met her that she would marry the man who provided her with Pepsi and crushed ice. And I took her to a restaurant that served Pepsi with crushed ice. And I won. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Dot. Maybe put a dim light in it and mount it right back there. Because I got, I hope I don't drop this in the floor. Some of my photos up on the wall over here, if y'all can see that. Oops. My little sailor man, because I was in the Navy. Charlie gave that to me for my birthday. Really? All right, well, Gypsy's telling me that the shit show is starting over on Mama T's page. So if you guys want to go over there, I'll go ahead and end. Or if you just want to hang out here and chat without the drama, you can do that too. And I'll just stay here and bore you with my vast knowledge of nothingness. Yeah, I did that with my younger kids too, Rockin' Robin. I've taught two of our boys how to play the guitar. I play the guitar. And then our son Charlie is taught, he's self-taught. He taught himself how to play the keyboards. I'm reading Sugar Pie. The only problem with that Sugar Pie is I personally have started in California and sailed west until I ended up in New York. So the world is round. I've been there. I used to have pictures to prove it. I'm sorry, October, that you're not feeling good. I hope everything's going to be okay for you. Everybody put some prayers in the chat for October, baby. Cynthia wants me to tell you about my adventures as a scout master. For those of you who haven't heard the story before, I was in the Boy Scouts in the 60s when I was little, and early 70s, when the world was black and white. And Charlie and Montana, my last two boys at home, we put them in Scouts when we lived in East Bend, and East Bend was a small little bedroom community. It didn't even have a stoplight when we moved there. And the only business downtown is Dollar General. But there, like every other place in North Carolina, there's a church on every corner. And in East Bend, that's especially true. I think there was like 17 churches in a 1 square mile or 2 square mile city limits. But the church that was doing the scouting program, I took my boys there, and they were having trouble finding leaders or volunteers. And they were talking to me and said, would you mind come and help out a little bit? And I said, no, I don't mind at all. And in less than 3 months, they had me take a test and awarded me the position as scoutmaster of the whole troop. And one of the things that we did in October when it was cold or not cold, but really cool, is we would take the Cub Scouts up to the Boy Scout camp, summer camp, and they had the whole day to themselves there, and their parents could go with them. And they did crafts and hike and shoot bow and arrow and climb walls and rappel and all the things that you'd think Boy Scouts would do. So we're trying to stay together as a group, and I have my son, Charlie, who was actually technically, legally, a year and a half too young to be in Scouts, but since Daddy was Scoutmaster, it was okay. And we were all just, hanging out at the top of the mountain, and it was time to go back down to the campsite that we were assigned for lunch. So as we're walking back from the top of the mountain, there was a kid who caught a snake. It was a black snake about like that, and it was wrapped around his arm, and he was holding it, and all the kids were, stopped and touched it, and, I didn't tell the kids this, but I am petrified of the snake, so I just stayed back a little bit, So after all the kids got a chance to touch the snake, we started back down the hill, and we got about halfway there, and I realized that Charlie, my son, was not with us. He was nowhere to be seen. Anyway, I walked back up the hill to where the snake was. He wasn't there. And I walked back down. And by that time, the troop had gotten to the campsite. And I walked into the campsite, and there he was sitting there on the picnic table eating a sandwich. And I went up to him and I said, "Where were you?" He says, "I was hungry." So when they stopped to pet the snake, I just came on down and ate. So Gypsy really enjoys telling everybody I lost one of the scouts. It was my own. Maybe Sugar Pie, we'll do a live and you can come up and talk to us about it. If that'll work for you. I'm open-minded to, all kinds of things. Gypsy's yeah, that's, I agree 100%. He's like, man, I ain't got no use for a snake. I got bit by a snake when I was a kid playing in the woods. And I've been terrified of them ever since. Big snake, little snake, green snake, snake in the book, snake on TV, snake in the movie. I can't do it. I don't watch it. And Montana insisted he wanted to have a snake, and I just had to break his heart. That's something I've always wanted to ask. Sugar Pie, what country are you from, ma'am, if I may ask? I'm anything but interesting there, Rockin' Robin. When I was in the car business and Gypsy came and, said, I need to borrow $10 so I can go to the store, and she came back with a desk. I've worked with her for the last 17 years. I haven't done anything on my own except for with her. Sugar Pie, you're Scott. Okay, hold on for a minute and I'll get back to that. Anyway, so when she first started, and I was helping her do her channel, and I enjoyed that. And but she gets irritated with me because I'm a dumbass sometimes, not intentionally. It just happens. I'm a guy. Guys are. So she fired me, and now I'm doing it on my own. And I'm not as comfortable in front of a camera as she is, and I don't know why, because we did TV commercials together, her and I. And I was acting major in school, so I don't know. But anyway, Sugar Pie, getting back to your question, do we sound funny to you, our accent? Be honest, it's okay. I mean, when I moved to California in the Navy, I came back with a California accent, and all my cousins and aunts thought I talked funny. So tell all your friends, Rockin' Robin, to come and sign up. And I'm a long ways from where Gypsy is. I got like 72 subscribers or something. I need all y'all to sub up. Tell your friends to do it too. Sugar Pie says, no, Gypsy, the Southern accent sounds really pretty to Scottish people. That's cool. She doesn't like 666's accent wherever it is she is from. Yay! 78, Tom said. Hey! I'm almost at 100. If you got stock accounts, sub them up too. I don't know who the 666 person is, but I don't like that number. Why would anybody want to label themselves that? I don't know, man. Superstitious. I am. Let's see. Sarah, where are you at? Oh, you are? Okay. Gypsy and Sarah are in a meeting. You have some words that sound like ours too, but I think Scottish have close to us to the south. Yeah. Dot said Nicolina, and Rockin' Robin said, don't mention the Kraken. Oh my God. Don't say it 3 times fast no matter what, Yeah, she's full of herself, man. I don't understand it. What I really don't understand is the hundreds of people who flock to it, though. I mean, life is too full of stress, guys. Take a deep breath with me, man. Shit. There's no... Dude. Oh. So evidently I'm hearing from the production booth out back that the clips that Southern Girl today on her was trashing Gypsy and calling her a vile human being, which, why? Anyway, so what's up is, she thinks that, yeah, I don't either. I don't think she thinks. I think she just acts.
I said it's not our fault.
Anyway, it's not our fault that Ernie didn't choose her. We don't tell anybody what to do. You know? Nobody do we tell what to do. Nobody tells us what to do either. I mean, you can find Gypsy in
She sounds crazy.
different.
On this episode, she sounds crazy.
Gypsy said she sounds absolutely crazy in this she's watching. Obsessed with it. She is, Sugar Pie. Why? Can you tell me why? Can anybody?
Unless you find her about
I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Now, Gypsy gets mad at me when I start to talk about drama, but you know, it affects me too. So I'm normal. I'm going to say a little something, but I'm not going to make my whole show about it. This all started back on Dolly. Do y'all know Dolly? He did his Dolly Island thing. And Cynthia and Southern Girl, or Gypsy and Southern Girl, were friends off of YouTube. On social media, they messaged each other. And I called in to Dolly and voted Southern Girl off the island. I said she was two-faced. And that was me, but it was a joke. I was joking. She didn't think it was funny. And she panicked. And I don't know why. But you would have thought somebody just stole her puppy, man. She just went nuts. So that started, and it was my fault. I voted her off the island. And she says she's give Gypsy 5 chances. That's what the fuck is she talking about? She's got 5 chances for what? Gypsy did nothing but be friends with her. Some people are just looking for something to be mad about. And that's why we don't cover too much drama over here, because you're always going to find somebody that wants to be mad and you can't make them happy. Happiness is an attitude. It's an attitude. If you think happy thoughts, you're going to be happy. If you think shitty thoughts, you're going to be shitty. And that's all I got to say about that. Yeah, she's trying to draw Gypsy into drama so she can get more clicks and more views. That's what that other lady, Nicolina, does it. You know, she's vile and attacks people and intimidates people. And she has hundreds and hundreds of people that just flock to her to watch it. But that's just not what we're into here. I'd rather have 6 people in chat and everybody leave my chat with their adrenaline at a normal level. You know, maybe you'll come back, maybe you won't, but I hope you do. Yeah, Sugar Pie, I know, man. Who is she? Yeah. Well, I've got my hour in for this week. Do what, honey? You want me to drop you a link in the chat? She's going to strike my channel for talking about her. Okay. If you like the time to spend together, you can tip the driver of the field trip at Cash App, $, Gobble. Thank you very much. And if you don't, it's no big deal. But I do appreciate you guys coming over here today and talking to me. And if you guys have any ideas for things that you want me to go and do and show and take y'all with me, I will. And when we go to the Andy Griffith Museum, to the jailhouse, the courthouse, to the gas station and the squad car, we'll do that live from my phone. And it'll be a dual show with Gypsy that day. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I know Sugar Pie, but she, you know, she's my wife. Happy wife, happy life. Anyway, Thank y'all so much for coming by and checking us out. We love you much. And let me do this. And I'll leave you guys with this.
There might have been things I missed, but don't be unkind. It don't mean I'm blind. Perhaps there's a thing or two I think of lying in bed I shouldn't have said, but there it is. You see, it's so clear you were meant to be here. From the beginning, yeah. Maybe I might have changed, not been so cruel.